Hi, I'm Kev Johnson, Systems Engineer with Runecast Solutions. I'm just here today to give you a little bit of an update as to what we've been doing at Team Runecast over the past few months. So, as you might have noticed, we've got this theme here of Kubernetes. Let's just jump back there for a second because I really like that meme. It took me ages to get the ring on it moment, so enjoy it while you can. Please have a great time while you're here at the France VMUG UserCon. I'm always really proud to support these kind of events. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about some of the problems that we see organizations having when they start talking about things like Kubernetes and AWS as they bring them into their operations environment. There's a wealth of experience out there with products like vSphere, etc. And Runecast obviously can help with those kind of issues as well. But the problems we're seeing as you kind of move to these newer technologies are problems typically of the complexity of operating these things. So it's really, really simple to deploy Kubernetes on your laptop using something like Minikube, but trying to do that in a secure, in a safe, and in a sane fashion in a production environment is a very, very different beast. Similar sort of things when we're looking at AWS. It's really easy to sign up with your credit card and deploy a couple of things. But if you're going to deploy these things for production use, you're going to have customer data on there and things like that, then we really want to make sure that you're abiding by these best practices. You're sticking within the security compliance constraints you've got to work with. We see that there's a really big problem in terms of the skills gap in technical teams as well. So as I said, while there's all kinds of experience out there with vSphere and all of those kinds of things, these are new technologies and people are struggling to kind of get up to speed with them. So this is where we want to be able to help. We see these evolving best practices and the security recommendations around them as well. And so all of this stuff is stuff that Runecast Analyzer, the team at Runecast and Runecast Analyzer have got absolutely masses of experience in terms of helping to automate these checks to help make sure that your organization is running their workloads in a safe manner. All of the security compliance stuff, all of the manual efforts, we don't want to have to worry about it. Just continue to use the tools that you've always had. So the same tools like Runecast Analyzer that can really help you to minimize the risk and also make your lives easier as you move into the future with Kubernetes, with AWS and other cloud platforms. So a little bit about Runecast Analyzer. As you can see over here on the screen, over on the left-hand side, we've got our secret source, which is our artificial intelligence assisted knowledge parser. So this monitors a whole bunch of different sources of data, different security standards, things like the VMware knowledge base, things like the Kubernetes documentation. When we see updates to these, the AI picks these up. It pushes them down into the Runecast central repository. And once they've been validated by our team of experts, we can push those straight down to the Runecast Analyzer appliance, which runs live on premises within your data center. No data ever needs to leave your control. So if you've got regulatory compliance requirements or high security requirements that mean you can't be using cloud services, then Runecast Analyzer can definitely help. From here, we can scan sources of data such as vCenter, such as NSX, such as Horizon. We can scan your on-premises Kubernetes clusters, whether they're bare metal, whether they're running on vSphere, whether even if they're running in a cloud service like AWS or GCP, any of those services, we can provide this information. And we can also now scan your AWS environment, so the native AWS public cloud as well. All this from our appliance that runs on premises with its patented rules engine. It's a virtual appliance, as I said, so it's super quick to deploy. You deploy it, it takes maybe 3 minutes to deploy, another couple of minutes to do some configuration, point it at some sources of data, some vCenter servers, NSX managers, Horizon connection servers, some Kubernetes API servers, some AWS accounts, and we can pull all of that data back. We're going to do the proactive detection of any risks that are in your environment, pulling back all of that stuff based on the knowledge that we have built into the appliance. We're going to give you automated security compliance checks for standards such as DISA STIG, such as PCI DSS, such as HIPAA, and many, many more. And we keep adding new standards all the time. So, we've got a lot of data, we've got a lot of really good value in here. We've got the ability to check your vSphere environment against the HCL, both for the versions of vSphere that you're running and also upstream versions. So if you're planning an upgrade for vSphere, this is a product that is really, really going to help you. We've got this thing called Enterprise Console, which is super popular with our managed service provider partners. whereby they can deploy a single Runecast analyzer per customer, and then they can use the enterprise console to get visibility across all of those. And I'll show you that very, very shortly. I'm going to skip through most of these because we're on a super tight time frame for this session, I'm afraid. If you want to learn more, please do stick around till the end, and I'll show you where you can go to get more information or to book a proper deep dive session with either myself or one of my colleagues. So things that we're looking to help you to do, we want to help save you time and money, because any time that you spend troubleshooting or cleaning up a mess is time that you could have been, you could have been delivering business value there. We want to help you achieve higher availability because, again, that availability is super important to your business. We want to help you achieve that. And we're going to help you automate your security compliance checking, auditing, reporting, all of that kind of stuff. And the one thing that we don't call out on this slide here is that we want to help you send your systems administrators home on time every day. So they're not having to work in the evenings. They're not having to work through the weekends. They get their work-life balance back. And that's really important to me as a time-served sysadmin myself. I really want to help you folks get your lives back. And the other thing that we do call out here is we think that Runecast Analyzer is absolutely the platform that you should be using to ensure compliance across your older, your vSphere environments and your modern apps, your AWS, your Kubernetes and other services coming down the line in the not too distant future. So some very quick screenshots here, just showing you how we can add a connection into a Kubernetes cluster. We just need the API server address, the API server port, which is typically 6443, and we need a service account token. So we generate this service account, we bind it to a cluster role, and then we generate a service account token. We paste this in here, and that's how we authenticate against the Kubernetes API server. From here, we can see we've got this inventory view whereby you can absolutely explore all the way through everything that's going on in your Kubernetes cluster, and also your vSphere and your Horizon connection servers and your AWS accounts. Everything is in here, and you can click through, see the entire hierarchy and where you have these latent risks. We've got the historical graph of all of your Kubernetes issues, and again, this extends to all of your vSphere, all of your Horizon, all of your AWS, etc., etc. All of this is in there. We've got compliance with the CIS benchmarks, so we work very closely with CIS. We're CIS certified for both vSphere and AWS. We're working on the CIS certification for Kubernetes right now, so expect that announcement fairly soon. And again, we're showing you here everything that's going on in the environment. We're going to show you the audit data, the data from the standards, and also what you need to do in order to bring yourself in line with those. We're also going to show you where your exposure is. We've got this also got this concept called custom profiles, which is really, really super helpful for organizations that need to work towards a specific standard, but maybe have extra internal standards that they need to work towards. So extra checks that they need to add on top of maybe PCI DSS or HIPAA or any of those other standards. And we can copy any rule that's within the Runecast Analyzer appliance. So the Runecast Analyzer appliance currently, as of right now when I'm recording this, includes something, and it's just over 2,500 checks. So chances are there's going to be a check in there that's going to meet your requirements. If not, watch this space. There'll be a further announcement later this year which should extend these capabilities for even the most niche use cases. When we clone these rules in, we can customize the severity, we can change the title of it, we can add notes. All of this stuff is really, really helpful. Custom profiles, again, just a view here. We can see we have this Acme internal policy whereby we've cloned in a whole bunch of different checks, and we can automate reporting in the same way that we can do with all of our other security standards. And we can see here, here's our options in terms of custom profiles reporting. So we can filter based on all of these criteria that are listed across the top. So severity, where it's applying to, which design characteristics it's impacting, which products, what type of issue, whether we've passed or failed or it's a manual check. Everything is in here. We can kick out PDFs, CSVs, all of this stuff for any period of time you're interested in. We've got a cool custom dashboard for AWS. I'm going to jump through that very quickly. We also have this enterprise console, as I mentioned, which is super, super popular with our larger enterprise partners and also with our managed service provider partners. We can see here in the center, the Runecast Analyzer appliance is connected out to many other Runecast Analyzer appliances. And from there, we can see what's going on everywhere in the environment. This is what the dashboard looks like. If you'd like to learn more, please visit runecast.com. You can download a free 14-day trial. If you'd like to learn more about the product than I could ever go through in a 10-minute session, please email us at innovate@runecast.com, and we'll be more than happy to set up a deep dive session with myself or one of my colleagues. And on that note, I just want to say thank you to the France VMUG UserCon for having Runecast. It's always a pleasure. Goodbye.